Hello and welcome to the live demonstration of finRize digital banking solution. In this digital era, small and medium financial institutes are facing two major challenges, a tough competition from one, the existing big banks, and second is a fintech company which has come up with a cutting edge technology. So, in this digital first era, we present a finRize, a digital banking solution for all your needs. So, now let's get into the demonstration of the product. So, before I get into it, let me explain you how a little bit about the user role in our application. The first user role is the admin who has entire complete control of the application. He has the full rights to create the new scheme, design these new schemes, and modify the schemes as for the time, time and date to modify the interest rates and all the stuff. And then second is the branch maker and the branch checker. So now first let me take you to the admin part. So here is a product. Yeah. So now for this demonstration purpose, we already have created few of the things readily available for you so that this demonstration can be in a very short time. So, so this is a basically a admin login, right? A admin, the first thing criteria is to design your schemes. Like now, if you have to design your schemes, everything can be done here. Okay, the first step is to create your scheme master, and then in the maintenance screen, you need to set all the parameters for those things. And then in the third step, you need to set the interest rate for all those schemes. So let's go one by one into it. In the scheme master, usually you're gonna select what type of scheme you want just by clicking here add. You can create whether it is a CASA, current account or savings account, FD, fixed deposit, loans, pigmy deposit, recurring deposits and shares. All those you can select here, create a scheme, just a name and other information you can give and you can create the scheme. And then the second step is to go into the maintenance screen. Now in maintenance screen, I just clicked on CASA. We have already created a savings deposit scheme over here. Let's understand how this savings deposit scheme work. Now, the best part of this particular product is like every scheme comes with an expiry date. Now, let's take an example. Your organization wanted to provide a scheme for a limited time period. As an admin, if the time period you already know is for some festival like Diwali, Christmas, or something of that sort, you can enter the expiry date. So the benefit of this scheme would be only for that limited period. And then you set the parameters. All the accounts before the expiry dates are allowed to open under this scheme. And after once the scheme is expired, the account opening is not allowed. So this way you can manage a limited time frame schemes to and provide schemes to your customers, right? So let's understand one by one. The savings account usually, okay, here are the six tabs we have. Mainly, first is the interest. You have to set all the schemes are set in advance, okay, by admin, and all your branch people have to just follow this. They don't have any right to change any of these parameters. Only admin has a right to do this. So whatever parameters you set it has been will be followed by all the branches. Now let's understand what is this accrual frequency. Now accrual frequency meaning is you can set accrual frequency like monthly. Okay, we support monthly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly, right? So now let's take example. This is your savings account wherein you are giving a capitalization on a yearly basis. The compounding happens on a yearly basis, right? But Now, if you wanted your books to be up to date on a month on month basis, so at that moment of time, you can select a monthly accrual. So, when you select a monthly accrual, these all accrual, compounding, capitalization, payouts, everything is completely automated in our system. Now, what you need to do is you just need to set these parameters, configure the scheme at the start once, and throughout the life cycle or throughout till the expiry date, the scheme runs automatically as per the parameters or configuration you set. Now, what happens is every month when you select a monthly accrual, what is our system is going to do? When you select a monthly accrual on the month end, system will calculate what are the deposits, and if you need to pay the interest for this month, how much that interest would be. There could be a capitalization as we have seen yearly, but month on month basis, you wanted to know the proper financial position of your bank or your organization. You just selected a monthly accrual. You need not do anything. System is intelligent enough. On the month end, system will calculate how many deposits are under monthly accrual, how many customer accounts are having monthly accruals, schemes have monthly accruals. System will automatically calculate and pass the financial entries for interest payable without even a click of one button. It is all done automatically. And on first day of the next month or the first week, whenever you have a meeting with your staff and team or board, you can have the real time position of the branch on month basis. So that is one parameters we support. Like as I told you, we have quarterly, we have half yearly, we have annually, whatever capitalization you want. We also support, you can see over here, different calculation methods. Like first one is the minimum balance method, where traditional old banks, some of them are still following, wherein starting from 10th of the month to end of the month, that is 31st, whatever is the minimum balance, on that minimum balance the interest is calculated. And we also support a daily product. Okay, so daily product, on a daily balance the interest is calculated. Now you can create n number of schemes and you can have a different calculation methods. Okay, and system is intelligent enough, it will automatically know which customer is created under which scheme and what that scheme has a interest calculation method, and the system will automatically do their accruals, it will automatically calculate their interest, and it will automatically compound or capitalize their interest on whatever frequency you have set over here. And the next important thing I just wanted to tell you that there is also an inoperative period you can define and check it out. Like if at all yeah, what is it? You if at all you wanted after certain period of time, if there is no customer transaction and the account has to be considered as an inoperative account, then there's an option over here wherein you can set an inoperative period. Once you set an inoperative period, now let's take example, you set an inoperative period of 12 months. If 12 months there are no transactions, then system will automatically convert those accounts into operative to inoperative, right? So all that facility we provide over here, and in CASA especially, you can see there are a lot of facility we support based on the your requirement. Based on the requirement, you can configure, you can opt for these facilities. And in this product, we have flexibility of choosing your own GLs. Please make a note, usually other products tries to impose their GL codes with you. You can have your own GL codes and it is completely customizable by you. What sort of GLs you want to use for interest payables and interest expenses and all the stuff, you have full rights on that. And anytime you can change these things, and if there is any minimum balance you can maintain all those things. So this is how a CASA scheme is created. And once you create a scheme, the next step is to go and create an interest rate for that. And oh, the session have been logged out. Let's log in once again. And let's go to the interest rate master of CASA. Now we have already created over here. You can create on effective based on effective date. If rest all of your scheme parameters remain same and only the interest changes, then you can come over here and change the interest rate based on effective date. The system will automatically consider the interest rate and the new accounts are open on that interest rate. And now let's pay a little attention over here. Now you can see this particular CASA account what we have created. We say that we accept minimum 200 rupees to 99999, and the interest rate is 4% and there is no variance over here. Now what is variance? Now let's take an example. Now your organization wanted to provide a 5% of interest rate for some of the privileged customers. So in such a case, what you can do is here you can set an interest rate of 5 and a variance of -1, then the net rate becomes 4. So for all the other customers, when the accounts are created, they will get 4%. And in account creation, there's a variance. You can add up to 1%. So those privileged customers, instead of 4, can get up to 5%. It can be 4.25, 4.5, or whatever, but up to 5%, not more than that. And if your organization doesn't have that kind of policies to give differentiate between any privileged customer or normal customer, then you can set this variance as 0. It's absolutely your choice, right? So once you set this, and we are good with the CASA scheme, right? So I just wanted to quickly walk through a few of the other scheme parameters, like we have shares also. Okay, if your organization requires a share membership, this model is also part of our product. Here you can select what type of share you wanted. Some of them have a class, B class, some of them simply name it as a share capital. This product is completely customizable and it meets the requirement of large number of different organizations. Basically it's all how you configure this. Now let's take an example that this particular share scheme has a voting right, then you can set it over here. And if there is a condition that whenever you disburse a loan, he has to be a member of your organization with some share cap, certain type of shares he need to buy from you, then you can set that right also. Whether you have to be, like for example, you can see that he needs to be a, whether this share guy can be a guarantor for a loan, then you can set all this. You can see whether this some of the shares are non-refundable. If that is the case, then you can have this option selected. If it is refundable, so like that, each and everything you can configure here. Okay, as I told you, a small organization wanted to be more flexible enough, then they can be flexible. And when you go a little bit and you wanted to have a strict things, and then you can have that strict thing. So this product meets the overall requirement of the market, like, right? So this is how it is. And how you wanted your dividend payouts to be, it has to be into transfer, it can be also cash. Here you can see this. Or secondly, we also support a different calculation methods based on your requirement and what sort of GLs and all this stuff. So here all these things you're going to configure at the start. Okay, and then system throughout the life cycle or the till expiry date works as for the parameters set in this scheme, right? So let me quickly take you to the next important thing is FD. I have shown you CASA and the share. And now let's understand how FD model exactly works. Now we have created certain schemes over here. Now let's look at this simple, let's take a double deposits over here, right? So now this particular scheme you can see over here, we have here uh, compounding and all the stuff. You can see here, you can see we have a compounding frequency yearly. You can set it monthly, quarterly, half yearly, or however you want. You can have a compounding frequency. Now let me show you here. Let's this payout frequency for this particular double scheme is only on maturity. That means the customer is not going to get any other payout apart from the day when he ends his tenure. On the date of maturity, he's going to get the payout of interest and the principal, right? So but there are certain products in the market wherein customer wants interest on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. So even we support that. Now if you want that payout to happen, then you can select these things, these parameters like monthly, quarterly, half yearly, and all those stuff. As it's a double scheme, so they don't want it this to be on a they want it to be only on a maturity usually, so maturity is supported. Now this is how the compounding works. So I would like to take a excuse me. Okay, so now I wanted to take an example of this monthly income scheme. This is the name they have given, wherein they wanted to give a payout of interest on a monthly basis. So here you can set a monthly income, monthly payout frequency. The once you set monthly payout frequency, system will automatically debit from their debit from the interest, and they will credit to their CASA account. This is also automated. And one more advantage of our product is, you can see there is also something called as payout basis. Now, what is this payout basis? So we support anniversary and calendar. The meaning is, now let's take an example. One customer, a retired customer, comes with a lump sum amount and deposit with your organization, and he needs a monthly payout to meet his monthly expenses. And now, let's take an example. He comes on 12th of some month, like the 12th of January, and he says that on 12th of January I have come, but I don't want my payouts to be on 12th of every month. I want it to be on a calendar month end, that's on 30th or 31st. So our product supports both. You can select you want a calendar or you want a anniversary, okay, or you can select the both parameters. At the account creation, if you select a calendar, then the payout will be automatically done on calendar month end, that is 30 or 31st. Some customers say that I have come and deposited on 12th of January. Let's take an example as 12th of January, and they wanted a payout. They don't mind to have a payout on 12th of every month. So you can select the anniversary, and system will automatically make the payout on 12th of every month. So this is what I just wanted to show you over here, that this is how a product meets the large requirement of the market. You configure according to it and the system will work as for that. So this is how your interest calculations are in FD. Couple of things I just wanted to show you, that how much the minimum amount of deposit should be, how much the maximum amount should be, how much the minimum month period should be, how much maximum month period to be. All that you can select over here. And whether when we mark lien on this, it's only on the principal or principal plus interest, even that you can select. And then you see over here we have various treatments, like you, if you want, we can have auto renewal. And when we renew, you have an option called as a renew with new account number or renew with the same number. Both the parameters are supported. And if you wish to give some grace period, we can set that grace period for renewal. If your organization follows post maturity accrual, then you can select this. Some of the organization doesn't do a provisioning of a post maturity, then you need not select this. And some of the, or here you can see this, we have a accrual on maturity, which means some of the organization uh, wishes to have a accrual. Even if the customer has not come on maturity date, they would wish to do a accrual on the maturity date. We support that. And some of them don't want to do it on a maturity, they wanted to do when the customer comes and closes it. We support all these parameters. What is I'm trying to give you an impression at this moment is, this is a product which is highly parameterized. It can meet the small organization requirements, and it can meet the medium size requirement also, right? So now let's go to the next part over here. You can see here we have these all prematurity. How we allow prematurity or no? Yes. Then what is the penalty for it? And in case of prematurity, which interest slab I need to refer? All this is parameterized and it is configurable, and you can see that on premature, do you wish to pay a simple interest or a compounding interest? Even that is a parameter, right? You can choose that, and then select your GLs, and rest other things are like your payout. Okay, here I just wanted to tell you, like, we have currently four modes of payouts and closure. In this scheme, you are allowing cash, you are allowing internal transfer, you are allowing transfer to own casa, that is their own current or savings account, or transfer to others casa account. So which means, now let's take example, your organization doesn't support any closure or payout in cash, and you do only transfer to their own casa. If you select only that one particular option, then then your branch people are not allowed to make any transactions with cash. They just have to transfer to their savings account. So that's how you can parameterize. And if you don't want to allow a cash transactions, or you want to restrict the cash transactions, all that you can do with this parameters, right? So we understood now how largely FD schemes can be configured. Now let's quickly get into a loan. I just don't wanted to get into pygmy and RD because that will make our demo too lengthy. So let me take quickly to the loans, which is another big module, right? And then in that we support all sort of loans. Please understand, right from your agriculture loan, collateral loans, we have gold, hypothecation, mortgage, right? And we support loan on deposits also, collateral deposit, and then a clean loan that is called as a personal loan. So various all sort of loans are supported over here, almost all, and it purely based on the parameters the system is gonna work. Okay, now let's take an example of a personal loan. Personal loan is usually a clean loan. Now let's understand, these are your, if there is some accrual and all those things to be done, and what kind of, see, this is the beauty of a product. We support multiple calculation methods. Okay, when it comes to penalty also, we have a lot of different penalty treatments. We will understand that little later. Okay, and let's see over here. And we also have here we have agent required. Meaning is, for every scheme you can have a agent also, wherein for example we have a pygmy collection, or it could be RD collection, it could be FD collection, or it could be loan recovery collection. So we have already finRize collection app, which is on a Play Store, which you can download, and your agents can start collecting. So you can also decide if the agents are required over here. You can select and you can proceed with that. So next is, how much should be your minimum loan, maximum loan, what should be your period, all those stuffs are set over here. And this is where the most important part comes into the picture. Now you see in the security tab we have something called as a guarantor. Now sometimes personal loans need a guarantor, sometimes personal loan may not need a guarantor. So what kind of scheme parameters you want, you can set that. So in the security type, we have collateral, we have clean. The once you select a clean, that means you don't need even guarantor. Once you select a guarantor, means you need a guarantors. And in collateral, we have various different things. I'll take to that screen. And before that, you can understand, personal loan comes with a monthly installments. So you need to uncheck with this bullet repayment. Usually gold loans come with a bullet repayment. They say that we give a gold loan for 12 months, and you can come and pay once in 12 months. That's it, after the loan period, and close with the interest by paying the principal and interest. As this is a personal loan which will have a monthly installments, so you need to uncheck this and it will work according to that. And see, as I told you at the start, at the beginning, now if you wanted this loan should be will be disbursed only to the share member, then you can select over here. And also the guarantor also need to have a share, that also you can select. See, this is completely flexible, it's not rigid. Whatever your organization rules are, bylaws are, according to that you can configure the product and you can start using it. So these are all the parameters, how your closure treatment has to be, how your GLs are. As I told you, custom GLs, reporting, disbursement and modes, I have already told you about that. And here we have appropriation sequence. Now, what do you mean by appropriation sequence? And the loan comes, in our case, comes with the CPI-IP. Meaning is, first, whenever a person makes any payment, if there is any charges due, the system will first deduct the charges. Once you completely pay the charges of the loan, then nextly we will be deducting your penal interest, right? Once you pay complete penal interest, next we will be deducting is the interest. And once you clear the entire interest, the amount goes to the principal. This is the sequence we follow. So it's all automated, and that's the standard banking which everybody follows. Yeah. So this is how usual, as I said, like our parameter set. Now let me take you to the some gold loan or some like something like that to understand how the security tab works like. Okay. So now here we have collateral. See, you can see this security type. When you select collateral, we have collateral gold. When you select deposit, that is nothing but a loan on deposit. Then it is a mortgage or a hypothecation. As I told you, we support almost all sort of loans. Okay, and select those collaterals, select those parameters, and scheme is ready to meet the your requirement basically, right? So this is how you set your schemes. And then let's get into, as I shown you the interest rate. Similarly, I would like to show you for loans how the interest rates are set. And here you can see this is how the interest rates are set over here. Yeah. And if your rest all the parameters remain same, and if the interest rates changes, then with the effective date that also can be done. And now you can see over here we have something called as a penal applicable from, and these are your penal interest treatments. Basically, how your penal interest has to be calculated. We support installment arrears, we support principal arrears, and we support EMIs also. There are various calculation methods. Some people give some people have after installment grace period, some people have last installment date as the applicable, all those things. And if it is a loan on deposit, then how much should be your margin and how much will be the additional interest rate. All this can be supported. Now what do you mean by this margin is, now let's take an example, loan on deposit. When we take, if the loan if the sorry if the deposit is of let's take example, I have deposited somewhere around 10,000 rupees. Let's take example of 10,000 rupees, and you set a margin of margin on deposit somewhere around 10%. So that means that 90% is only available for disbursement on that particular deposit. And what is this additional rate is, if you say additional rate is 2%, then you will be charged on deposit plus deposit interest rate plus 2%. That is the interest charged on the loan on deposit account. So all this, as I said at the early stage, it's completely parameterized, right? So I think we have seen and gone through enough of parameters with respect to setting up the scheme. There are a lot of other things. For this demonstration purpose, we have kept it all ready for you. Now let's get into a real action. Now I just wanted to log out into it, and then I just wanted to take and log in into a system as a maker. Now I just wanted to tell you, now there are the second user role type is the maker, right? So let's log in into as a maker. And for this demonstration purpose, what I have done is I have taken a blank branch, just newly started branch, so that if you see there is no uh, this particular branch, this is our demo account. And we have created a new branch with which doesn't have any transactions, so that whatever transaction I do, you'll be able to see. So there's no balance sheet over here, you can see this. Okay, so now let's go and understand how these calculation exactly work. Okay, so now the first step is, okay, let's pay attention to the menu what we have over here. Okay, so largely if you see, we have a uniform design across all the modules what we have. Meaning, okay, I'll explain you. Now first let's understand what is this. Okay, now first step is in our application is to create a customer ID. Okay, so now how a customer ID is created we'll understand little later, but let's understand these three things. One, as I told you, customer ID is created. Okay, and next step is like account creation. Now you can see that our account creation is being divided by modules: CASA, fixed deposit, recurring deposit, pygmy or daily deposits, shares, loans. All those modules are completely different, right? So whenever you want to create any account, just go inside that module, and it's the same uniform design as I told you. Click and then open the account. And the third step is to do a transaction. Like for example, in case of CASA, it's going to be deposit, withdrawal, or transfer. So this is where uh, user-friendly application we have, wherein this particular advantage of this particular application is we support multilingual, wherein this menu, all the menu can be in your regional languages. Okay, and if you are not using English to enter the name and all, you can also use other languages also to enter into the system. Both, all that we support, right? So now let's understand what is customer creation. Okay, so now this is where is our customer creation. We're gonna fill up those information. We have already created couple of customer into this to in the interest of the time, so that we don't need to wait for creating it one by one. So this is all the details. You just glance it once, and here you can see we have a if you have some KYC to be added, you can go to this particular tab and then add, and then you have your photos and these signatures and all those stuff like. Okay, so this completes your customer creation. Once the customer is created, the next step, as I told you, now let's take an example. I wanted to create a CASA account. Now just go to this CASA and click on CASA account opening. And the moment you create a CASA account opening, okay, and first step is you need to select the scheme, right? So now you have selected a scheme, and I wanted to have okay, so now you can see this is my customer ID. The moment I enter a customer ID, I got the name. As I told you already, we have already created a customers, right? And then you select, if there is a joint, then add over here, and you can add one more customer ID, and that person name will appear here. You can add it. For this demonstration purpose, we're going to limit ourselves only for one customer. And we have a nominee also, which is you can add the nominee as you want. uh, you we have this percentage, nominee percentage also. Now let's take example. You wanted to Sarvesh wanted to nominate her mother 50% and his wife 50%. That also can be done, right? So this way you are gonna set your interest rates, right? This way you're going to set the nominee details, right? And the interest rate will automatically come from the scheme you selected, because based on your effective date, the interest rate what the customer is going to get is the net rate 5%. As I said, if you have set any variance, then you can give him extra variance also. Now we're not going to do anything of that sort, and we're just going to click as save. Now you can pay attention here. The moment you click it, the account is created, right? Now, once the account is created, the next step is the customer is going to deposit into the account. Now you can see this CASA savings account number is 6 over here. Okay. Now let's go to the transaction and go under the transaction. Let's go to the CASA menu. Under the CASA menu, let's go to the deposit. And what we need to do is simply just enter the name as Sarvesh, or if you know the loan account, you can select it also, and then just click on it. Oh, sorry, right? And then you can just enter the amount like 10,000 or whatever amount, or 1 lakh, and then 1 lakh, and then just save this. Okay, so this is how a voucher is generated, which goes for authorization, right? Now that's the next role which we are talking. We call it as a checker. Now first let's do all the vouchers. Let's understand the flow, and one by one let's authorize it later on as a checker. Okay, so now we did one CASA deposit. Okay, and once we do a CASA deposit, okay, and let's go and create some let's say loan account. Okay, and let me create some personal loan over here, and let me enter. Okay, and let me add. Okay, now you can pay attention here. For this particular scheme we said that share is required. That's the reason this field has come filled with the share account number also, and the type of share is A class, right? So this is how, as I told you, it's if it's purely based on the parameter what you set at a scheme level. If your organization needs him to be a member, you can set that. If not, then without that also the system works, right? And then we have something called as guarantor. So you can set a guarantor over here, and you just need to enter the months, like 12 month if you set it. Okay, okay, and okay, here I just wanted to show you something like the few details. Like you can see today's operating date is 31st March, and here the branch ID is 1002, and this is your username. We have kept it as Yamike2, right? So we are on 31st March, and after 12 months it will be 31st March 2022. That's your loan tenure. And okay, so here you can have your installment frequencies and all those things. And you just need to you can set it also comes from by, this is by mistake we have set it as weekly. You can set it at monthly or whatever it is, and you just need to save this. But before we save it, I just want to show you there is something called as a recommendation. Usually some of the organization have recommendation from some directors or some existing customer or something like that. So that also you can enter the data here, and we can show you which directors have recommended which loans and all the stuff. That information is also available, and the reports are available. And you just need to click on save. Or sorry, I have not entered the sanction amount. Now let's take, I have sanctioned for 2 lakh rupees, right? So this is how I save it. All right, now this transaction, okay, this is your loan account opening. Now once you do a loan account opening, the next step is to go and in the transaction under the loan tab, you need to do the disbursement. Loan account opening is not disbursement. Loan account is opening is different, and disbursement is different. Now under the disbursement, okay, you just need to select the name, right? Okay, and see, based on the scheme parameter, the 16% interest rate has come. And now this is what I have told you at the start. The disbursement mode, you can, if you have allowing disbursement to be done on cash, you can do cash. If you select your own account, then you see here, to CASA, you this particular customer doesn't have a CASA account, so this is not supported at this moment of time. So it can be in cash also, right? So we can select that part, or we can select the cash also. Okay, so yeah, so this is how the sanction amount is. Now sanction amount is 2 lakh, and disbursement I set it as 2 lakh, and then I'll just simply say save. Now the voucher is generated. This will go for authorization. right? Once it is authorized, the cycle completes. Okay, still this accounting entries are not effected because the authorization is pending, right? So now similarly, I just wanted to take one more loan account opening. Now let's take an example of some collateral. Okay, now I wanted to take a gold loan example. Okay, now gold loan is having some collateral, so let's understand that. Okay, as you say that now in this gold loan we don't have any share account number over here because that scheme doesn't require any share account holders. So the loan is dispersed for the people who don't have even share accounts, who are not member, I mean, right? So now you just need to add this. Once you add this Mayur over here, and then again same, you can set the month over here. And sanction amount, you can see it has not come because it's a collateral loan. So collateral loan, the sanction amount is based on your collateral what you're going to attach, right? So after that, rest of the things remains the same. Let me tell you about something like belong to group. Okay, now there are certain organization provides a group loan, we support that also. If they belong to certain group, you can click over here and select the group over here. So as this gold loan doesn't come into group loan, so let's not get into this, but just I explained you the feature. That feature is also supported. Now you just need to save this. All right, so once you save this, I can check it out like this account is also I mean to say account is created. But now once this gold loan account is created, you cannot go simply directly to the disbursement and disburse the loan because you still have not attached the collateral. So the next step is you need to go to the loan collateral linkage, right? Under the account, under the loan tab, you need to click something called as collateral linkage. Once you click a collateral linkage and Mayur has taken a gold loan, okay, and now I click on that name. Okay, right. Okay, so now Mayur, now this is where you're gonna give a details of your ornaments. Now let's take example, I write some ring and the quantity are 2 and the grams gross weight is 100 and the net weight is 80 and gold per gram rate by the appraisal is 4,000, and this is the valuation of your gold, and then out of that you lend only 2,50,000. That's the lendable value, and you just say add. If you have multiple things, you can keep adding over here and it will give you the totals at the bottom. So at this moment of time, I'm just taking it only one. And if you have some images to be uploaded, you can say save and upload. And here you can choose the file and you can upload the file, upload the image, right? So that's how your gold loan comes into picture. Now let's after this, now we are going to go to the disbursement. Once the loan collateral is done for the gold, we just wanted to, right? So now this is what it is. So gold loan, now this is example, we have 20% interest which is coming from the scheme, and then there's a disbursement. Now how you want to do the disbursement is up to you. Okay, you can or you can do to the own casa, but now as there is no own casa, now we can go quickly and we can create a account for Mayur. Okay, now let's do that also. Okay, and I quickly add this and then I save this. So loan account is created, and let me go to the transactions for the loan, and from here I wanted to disburse Mayur's loan to his own casa, right? So now you see this, the own casa has come over here automatically, right? And then you need to select the disbursement amount. You can select same 2,50,000, and then you just need to say save. So now disbursement has happened, but still it is not authorized. We're gonna authorize all the transactions once for all later on when we log in as a checker. Okay, meanwhile let me do the transactions. So the next transaction what I wanted to do with regards to our loan is the agriculture loan. Let's take example. Now small agriculture loan, again it's a clean loan, we don't want any guarantors into that. That's what the organization has decided. And then right, okay, so we will select this. And now see here the sanction amount, as it's a clean loan, there is no collateral, you can just go there and do it. So now here in this example I'm setting 3 lakh rupees, and just when I tab out, now can you read this message which says that loan sanction amount should be between 100 and 2 lakh, meaning is this is agriculture loan which comes with the maximum limit of only 2 lakh rupees. No disbursement can happen about 2 lakh. That's what you have set at the scheme parameter, okay, where you wanted it to be maximum 2 lakh rupees. So now let's revise this and let's enter only 2 lakh. And if you have any operating instructions or the purpose or other things, you can enter that and you can just save it. Oh sorry, I have not entered the loan. So let's take example, we will have give this loan. Oh see, you cannot give for 36 months period because maximum period is 32. So let's do it 32. Yes, 32 is allowed. And then let's click save. Yeah, so we are successfully created the agree loan also. So now enough of transactions, and now sorry, we need to do the disbursement now. Let's go to the disbursement, right? And okay, so we will do the disbursement. Okay, and then oh, you see this particular disbursement happens only now. Agriculture loan, government has said, or whatever your bylaws say, like this cannot be disbursed in cash, it has to be electronic transfer. Then you can transfer to own casa, but as again the problem would arise is this particular person doesn't have any casa account, so we cannot disperse until unless we have a casa account. So it hardly takes a minute to open an account. Let's go quickly to the casa account opening, select the scheme, uh, enter the customer ID and just add it and then save. Done. Account is created just less than 1 minute of time. That's fast it is, right? So now let's go to the loan disbursement because we have to disburse the agriculture loan to Praveen. And here is Praveen's account of disbursement. Okay, and now as there's only one mode, so I have no option, and that's it. Okay, here I got the casa account, and then I'll enter the loan amount and the disbursement amount 2 lakhs only, and then I save this, right? So you see this voucher is generated and it has gone for authorization, right? So I guess now we have done enough of for transaction when it comes to account opening, right? So let's log out and let's log in as a checker. Okay, now checker for this branch will log in, and you will have to see there's something called as authorization, and these are the all the vouchers that are pending for authorization. All right, so let's before we go to this, let's see how our cash book looks like. Okay, oh sorry, I logged in into a wrong branch. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so let's pay attention over here. I logged in into 1001 branch, but we were doing all the transactions for 1002 branch, right? And where our operating date was 31st March 2021. And now let's understand what is our cash book on this 31st March, right? So there are few entries, okay, with regards to these couple of entries are already there. Before we show you a demo, it was already there. And now let's authorize the pending vouchers here. And these are our vouchers, my friends. Like totally, we have totally six vouchers which are to be authorized, or else you can say one among them is posted. That's the reason we are able to see that RD transactions, whatever are there. Now let me have this. What do you say, authorization. So now there was first we saw this cash deposit of 1 lakh and all this stuff. Let's authorize this. All right, okay. And let's authorize this also. Oh sorry, this is already posted, right? And that's where, okay, in our system we have something like reversal on this. We don't have any option called as delete or edit, okay, because we believe that delete and edit is the main reason for all the frauds happening in financial institutes. So we have avoided it completely. Once the voucher is authorized and for some reason you see that there's a mistake on the same day, we have providing you an option called as a reversal. Click on that reversal, that voucher will be reversed and you can make a fresh entry, right? So let's go and see once this is authorized, as we have authorized the 1 lakh thing, right? And let's see our cash book now. Now you see this in the Sarvesh account, we got 1 lakh in savings deposit, and here is a cash. So cash has increased by 1 lakh. All right. And now what's going to happen is, right? Okay, before we create loans, I just wanted to log back as a maker. Okay. And create some FD accounts. So let's understand, because largely CASA, FD, and loan, if you understand, you will understand the more of the systems, right? So let's have the FD account for, okay, yeah. So we will create a FD for Mayur, right? And then it's a single. Let's take example. We just add it, and then we just say save and next, right? Sorry, you need to select the scheme, what type of scheme it is. Now let's take example. I'm gonna go for a double deposit, okay, and save and next, yeah. And in the next, you can see this account is created, and now I need to just enter the you need to make a attention pay attention over here. And let's take example, pay in mode, you're paying cash of if you are accepting that amount, then you can select cash or transfer from your own CASA or other CASA or internal accounts also. So here we also support some of them have practicing manual certificate numbers. We have this manual certificate number also. And you can see this interest payout is on maturity. You need to select that, right? And then select the month, right? So this is a double scheme. So double scheme, now let's take example, it is for 60 months, right? And then once I set the 60 month, and we got the interest rate and all the stuff, and I just click on save. Oh my god, I need to enter the principal amount. So as I said, like I wanted to enter 10 lakhs, right? Okay, and then I save this. So this voucher is also for pending for authorization. So now if we created, we saw how do we create CASA accounts, FD accounts, and loan accounts. RD and Pygmy I'm not covering for this demonstration purpose, but by and large you will understand it's the same. So for RD also, now let's take example, account opening remains the same. As I told you, it's a uniform application. And in case of Pygmy or any other case, there are agents also, then you can use the agent also. So that's how it is. So this is how Pygmy account is opened with the almost all same thing, like, okay. So let's now log out, and let's log in as a checker now, and let's authorize the FD first and then followed by loans. So let's go to the authorization, and let's see all the list over here. Now this is the FD. Now, once I authorize this, my cash has to grow. This is a cash we said. My cash has to grow by 10 lakhs, right? So let's authorize this, and let's go to the cash book. And here we are, right? Double deposit scheme, Mayur, and 10 lakhs. So this is how each and every transactions takes place, and you can also at the end we will see what kind of customer will get the statement and all the stuff that has also been supported. We'll go once we authorize that, and we'll go back to that part also. Okay, and yeah, sorry. So there are for certain other more transactions to be authorized. Let's click on that, and let's now understand one by one. We will pending, which are the status pending. Let's see which are pending is here. Okay, so we will authorize this also. This was some previously we did some transactions. Okay, let's authorize this. All right, okay. So we are left with another two more transactions which are pending, and that are loan related, which is disbursement, right? So now this loan to Sanjeev of 2 lakhs is in cash, and then I authorize this. Now let's go to our cash book, and let's see what is the effect of that disbursement of loan. So you can see on your debit particulars over here, there's a personal loan, and there's a Sanjeev and of 2 lakh rupees. So this is how your cash book, balance sheet, profit and loss are automatically built basically. Balance sheet will come into picture once you have your EOD on the day-to-day basis. Cash book is covering almost all the transactions basically, right? If here is the cash and here is a transfer, we cover both together here. And now let's go to the again authorization screen. We are left with I guess two pending authorization, another two loans. One among them was gold loan, and another is I guess agriculture loan. So this is of 2,50,000. And see, you need to understand that we support these options called as authorize, and print receipts, and send back. Now, what is the send back and reject? For some reason, you find there's a typo error. Instead of 2.5 lakhs, you made it 25 lakhs. You can reject the voucher here itself, and you can send back also by mentioning what is the send back reason. All right. So we support this. So I don't want to show anything to be sent back. I'll just quickly authorize this. Okay, and the voucher is authorized, and let's see what is the effect in our cash book. All right, see now, gold loan Mayur 2,50,000 we have disbursed, and that's how it works. All right. Okay, and we are left with another two more or one more. Yeah, this is agriculture loan given to Praveen, right? And we're gonna authorize this, and let's go to the cash book. right? Can you see this agriculture loan? And this is what, 2 lakh rupees. So this is how your cash book is gonna show. Like, so there was some opening balance of cash and you did some cash transactions, and then this is your closing balance. So all this is done automatically one with each transaction authorization. It's all updated, right? So as I told you, now customer, next what is he gonna do is, let's log in as maker now. Okay. Okay, now in maker, now we, as I told you, as those vouchers are authorized now, now you can go to the there are two things. One is the CASA statement. Now customer wants to have a statement of passbook printing, and also statements are provided. Now let's take example. We have uh, Mayu, right? And you can see this statement will come if there is any transaction happening from Mayur. Now there is a credit of 2,50,000 because the loan is being dispersed from, as I told you, like the loan has been dispersed from the to their CASA account. So the CASA account is being credited with 2,50,000. So like this, we under this transaction, there are one is your customer statement. Customer statement, we provide this to basically to for the customer, and there is something called as transaction inquiry. You can see this transaction inquiry with the same customer. We can have little more informations like your voucher numbers or something else of that sort, a little more detail than a statement. So this is also there, all right? And yeah, so that's how the whole system works basically. Here I just wanted to show you that we support a balance sheet, profit and loss, and this is a branch login. So that branch person will only be able to see his branch related balance sheet and profit and loss, and from central office can see consolidated balance sheets and all the stuff. Okay, so in this video we are not gonna show you, there is some process called as EOD, end of the day, where your EOD processes are completed and the next day the branch opens and then they do the transactions which keeps on happening. So it will be very difficult for us to show all that stuff. So we're not doing that part over here. And and yeah, so this is how the whole application is all about. Yeah, so in transactions, now let's take example in case of loan, you can go to installment payment. If you do a EOD and you enter any of the customer name, and you just need see the rest all other information, customer has already paid this month installment, it will say. If it was for next month date you would have come, then what would be its interest? Automatically the interests are calculated. You just need to select the mode of the payment and you just need to authorize it. So in certain transactions, I wanted to say that now this is also can be integrated with CASA. Especially, we can integrate with third-party banks also, like for example, ICICI Bank or other banks, and we can add the beneficiary and we can transfer the money from finRize directly to their beneficiary bank account. Okay, so that is also being supported, which is basically transfers and all the stuff. So here you can see from account and to accounts, you can enter, you can transfer the amount. As this is a demo thing, there's no real time things are integrated with any bank or anything else, and there's no real time money is transferred. Okay, so this is just a demo account. So here you can do all those kind of transactions. All right. Yeah, so as for this particular branch, we cannot show you the balance sheets and all the stuff. Though I just wanted to log in into a branch one and to wanted to show you just how the usual balance sheet and profit and loss looks like. Now this is how your usual balance sheet will look. Okay, and this is your balance sheet. This is your profit and loss. So this is your profit and loss. Okay, so that's just a sample, and then we have a trial balance. Hundreds of reports are supported over here. And as I told you, like when it comes to collection, we also have a collection app for your daily collections, for like pygmy collections, or you can say your recurring deposit collection, or if you wanted to collect fixed deposits also, or you want to collect your loans, everything you can do through our application, and all that is supported. Like mobile app is also supported. So that's it, friends. I think enough of information I've given, but I know this is very limited information. And for any sort of further more information, please feel free to contact us. Our company name is Fortune InfoServe, and you can contact us on our website, on our basically at line number. You can take it 0831 Let me repeat, it is 0831 So that's it, friends. Thank you so much for your valuable time, and bye for now. Thank you.